Chapter 1. Cornish Piskies. In the staff room of Penzance Secondary School. It is the end of the last day of the summer term. Amelia Edwards, the headmistress, is putting coffee cups into a dishwasher. She turns to Oliver Bailey, who is a PE teacher, and also her younger brother.
What are you doing this evening, Ollie?
I think I'll go to the beach and catch some waves.
Oh, you're so lucky. I have to have a meeting with Peter at 7 o'clock.
Beatrix Anderson, who is the school librarian, has been sitting in a comfortable chair reading a book. She looks at Amelia.
I'm pleased that you and Peter are talking to each other again.
Oliver nods.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It's not what you think. We're having a meeting to talk about getting a divorce.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear you're breaking up.
Yes, that's terrible. I always liked Peter.
Oliver puts his hand on Amelia's shoulder.
Listen, sis, before I go surfing, I need to check out the waves. We could go for a walk on the cliff path. I promise you'll be home before 7 o'clock.
Oh, I don't know.
Oliver looks over at Beatrix, who is still reading her book.
Hey, Miss Bookworm. Why don't you come for a walk with us too? The summer holidays start today. Let's get out into that sunshine.
Okay. If you promise I will be home before 7 o'clock, I will come for a walk with you.
I promise.
Oliver looks at Beatrix.
What about Miss Bookworm?
If you promise to stop calling me Miss Bookworm, I'll come for a walk with you.
Okay. I promise, Beatrix.
They leave the staff room together. 10 minutes later, they are on the cliff path. Amelia is wobbling a bit on her high heels. Beatrix smiles happily.
All of us have 6 whole weeks off. It's such a lovely feeling, isn't it?
Definitely.
I would rather take my holidays whenever I choose, rather than having to take them at the same time every year.
Oh, sis. You're never happy, are you?
Oliver puts his arm around his sister, but she pushes him away.
I didn't say I wasn't happy. I was just saying...
I was only joking, sis.
Oliver looks at the waves.
The surf looks pretty good from up here. But I should go down to have a closer look. You ladies keep walking. I'll catch you up.
Oliver sets off down to the beach. Amelia and Beatrix keep walking.
Listen, Amelia. I'm sorry to hear about you and Peter breaking up.
Thanks, Bea. But let's not talk about my problems. Why don't you tell me about your plans for the holidays?
Well, I have an idea.
Yes?
I'm going to write a book during the summer.
Really? That's a great idea.
Thanks.
What will you write about?
I'm going to write about the myths and legends of Great Britain. There are so many wonderful stories from all over the UK.
I think a librarian like you is the best person to write a book like that.
Thanks, Amelia.
Suddenly, the path becomes 2 paths. There's a sign pointing down the narrower of the 2 paths. Amelia sets off down the narrower path. Beatrix looks down the other, wider path and looks unsure.
Wait a minute, Amelia. I think it might be this way.
No, it can't be. The sign says it's this way.
Amelia keeps walking. The path gets rockier and rockier. Beatrix decides she had better follow her. She runs to catch up.
I think this might be the wrong way.
Don't be silly, Bee. The sign definitely pointed in this direction.
I know what the sign said, but
Dark clouds suddenly start to cover the sun. They both look at the sky.
It looks like it's going to rain, doesn't it?
yes, it does. Wow. Can you see those strange little lights dancing along the path?
Amelia shakes her head and laughs.
What are you talking about, Bee?
Beatrix looks again.
Oh, they're gone. Didn't you see them, Amelia?
No, I didn't see anything.
Suddenly, they hear the sound of running feet. Oliver runs down the rocky path towards them.
Ladies, you've gone the wrong way. This path is very dangerous.
Amelia turns to Oliver. She looks annoyed.
It's not the wrong path. We followed the sign.
Well, the sign was pointing the wrong way, sis. This path has been really dangerous, since some of the cliffs were washed away in the last storm. If you keep walking this way, you could easily fall off the edge.
Don't be silly. Come on, I'll show you.
Amelia walks as quickly as she can back towards the sign. Oliver and Beatrix follow her. Soon they are standing looking at the sign.
See? It points that way.
Yes, but that's the wrong way.
But why would the sign point the wrong way?
Beatrix speaks quietly.
I think this must have been the work of the Cornish piskies.
The what?
Cornish piskies are cheeky little elves who lead travellers in the wrong direction. People say they are tiny lights dancing around, getting people lost.
That's silly.
Remember I saw those funny lights?
Amelia shakes her head.
I didn't see them.
Remember I said I'm going to write a book about the myths and legends of Great Britain?
Are you? That's great.
Thanks. Yes, I'm going to write a book about myths and legends from all over the UK. And this is my first story. The story of the Cornish piskies that led us up the wrong path. Right here in Penzance.
Amelia starts to smile.
Well, I suppose that is quite a good story. And it was right here in Penzance. But where will you find the other stories for your book?
Well, I'm going to travel around the country, visiting all the places where the stories come from.
That's exciting. You must be really excited.
Beatrix shakes her head.
No, really I know I'm too scared to go on a journey like that by myself.
Amelia looks annoyed again.
Don't be silly, Bee. Of course you should go.
Suddenly, Beatrix smiles. Amelia looks at her.
What are you smiling about?
Well, I was just thinking. I'm too scared to go alone. But if I had some brave and clever friends with me, I could definitely go on the trip.
Amelia and Oliver look at each other. They are both thinking the same thing. Oliver speaks slowly.
How about...
A clever headmistress?
and a brave PE teacher?
Amelia, Oliver and Beatrix walk slowly back to school. All three of them are lost in their own dreams. Dreams of an adventure and a summer of stories. Chapter 2. The Giants of Bristol. 3 days later, Beatrix, Amelia and Oliver are having a video call. They are all sitting alone in their houses. Oliver has a large black cat on his knee. They have decided that the first place they will go on their search for stories is Bristol.
The easiest way to get to Bristol is to catch the train.
Catching the bus is cheaper.
Yes, but the bus takes so much longer.
Okay, so is there a train that goes between Penzance and Bristol?
Beatrix is reading a train timetable.
Yes, there's a direct train. It takes 4 hours to get there.
Okay, if we want to go tomorrow, we had better buy our tickets. I will buy a ticket for myself and one for each of you. Then hopefully we'll be sitting together. Would you rather go early in the morning or a bit later?
Let's set off early. Then we'll have the whole day to find Beatrix's story.
Thanks, Oliver.
Okay, see you tomorrow morning at the train station.
See you.
Bye.
The three friends finish the call and go off to pack their bags. Then, the next morning, Beatrix and Amelia are standing on the train platform. Beatrix is carrying a small backpack and Amelia has a large suitcase. Just as the train pulls into the station, Oliver races along the platform, carrying what seems to be a large cage. They get on the train and find their seats. Oliver puts the cage on the seat next to him. Amelia looks at it.
What is that?
That's Mog.
Oliver pulls the blanket that is covering the cage and they can see an enormous black cat, which is definitely in a bad mood. Amelia looks surprised.
Why on earth have you brought that cat?
Well, I can't leave her at home by herself, can I?
Can't that girl you've been seeing, what's her name, Louise, look after her for you?
I hadn't seen Louise for months. Sorry, didn't I tell you that?
I'm sorry, Ollie. What's happened?
Oh, we were never serious. You know my relationships never are.
Beatrix laughs and looks at Oliver.
You sound just like me.
I thought you were seeing that dentist. Colin, isn't it?
A dentist. No wonder you have such good teeth, Bea.
Yes, I am seeing Colin, but we're not serious. We just go to the cinema together sometimes.
Oh, we are a bunch of old romantics, aren't we? One divorce, one single, and one who's definitely not very interested in visiting the dentist.
You just wait until we get to Bristol. Today's story is very romantic.
The rest of the journey passes quietly.
If you want more videos like this, then subscribe, comment and share our videos so we can make many more like it.
Soon the train is pulling into Bristol. Beatrix wants to go to a place called Blaze Castle. They have been sitting on the train for so long that they decide to walk. As they walk, Beatrix tells them the story of the giants of Bristol.
So, there were once 2 giants. They were brothers. They were called Gorham and Vincent.
Is it one of those stories where the brothers hate each other?
Well, at first they don't hate each other, but this is the romantic part. They fall in love with the same girl.
I wonder what was so special about her.
She was very beautiful. Her name was Avona. The river Avon that runs through this city was named after her.
Aww, I'd like to have a river named after me. Imagine the River Amelia.
They all laugh.
Anyway, Avona was the most beautiful giantess in Bristol. But she was not as demanding as some girls are when choosing a husband.
How do you mean?
She agreed to marry either Gorham or Vincent. But first, she challenged them to empty the lake that lay between Bristol and Bradford-on-Avon.
How were they supposed to do that?
They had to dig a channel all the way to the River Severn.
That sounds like hard work.
You would say that, sis. You've always been lazy when it comes to digging. You didn't dig any of that fish pond in your garden, did you?
No, Peter dug it for me because he knew I like colourful fish.
Oh, that's lovely. Anyway, you're right, Amelia. It was hard work. It was so hot that Gorham, who was lazy sometimes, drank a lot of beer, dug just a single channel, and fell asleep.
Gorham sounds a lot like you, Ollie.
Hey,
Meanwhile, Vincent dug a much longer channel all the way to the River Severn, and then Vincent and Avona were married.
What happened to the lazy giant?
Gorham was so upset he threw himself into the River Severn and was never seen again.
poor Gorham. Actually, I'm starting to feel a bit lazy. Where are you taking us, Bee?
Beatrix pulls a map out of her bag and looks at it.
The map says there should be a lake on our right-hand side.
They all look to their right and see a small lake.
So far, so good.
It says we should see a narrow track going up the hill.
Amelia looks around and sees a path. She points.
There it is! It looks steep.
They slowly start to climb the hill. Soon they reach two flat-top walls of rock sticking out from the cliff. They stop and catch their breath.
Wow! What is it?
This is supposed to be the chair where Gorham fell asleep.
It does look like a giant's chair, doesn't it?
It looks like a comfortable place to rest.
They pull themselves up onto the wall of rock. Beatrix lies down in the warm sun and closes her eyes. Soon she is fast asleep. While she sleeps, a young woman wearing a short skin-tight dress and dainty kitten heels comes up the hill and looks at the giant's chair. She speaks to Oliver with an American accent.
Hi there. It sure is a lovely day.
Yeah, it certainly is. You sound like you're from the USA.
Oliver jumps down from the chair and he and Avril walk off together to look at the view on the other side of the hill. Amelia smiles to herself and shakes her head. Beatrix opens her eyes and looks around.
Where's Oliver?
He's chatting up a very attractive American tourist. This is why Oliver likes to stay single. He likes to be available when attractive young women in tight dresses and kitten heels come along.
Beatrix can see Oliver and Avril standing very close together. She is surprised to find she is not happy about this. She speaks quietly to herself.
I guess I made the same mistake as Gorham. I got lazy and fell asleep in the chair.
Amelia looks at Beatrix. She thinks about how Peter was just like the hard-working giant, Vincent, when he dug a beautiful fish pond for her. But she asks herself, was Beatrix really like Gorham? She looks at her brother and his Avona and wonders just how romantic this story will be. Chapter 3. King Bladud and the Pigs. Amelia, Beatrix and Oliver are sitting in a cafe at their hotel in Bristol. They are drinking coffee and talking about their plans for the next day.
If you want to go to Bath, Bea, it's not far from Bristol. There's a cycle track between the two cities. It's an easy 13-mile bike ride.
Where are we supposed to get bikes from, Oliver? And are you going to hire one for your cat too?
We can hire bikes from this hotel. Some of the bikes have baskets on the front, big enough for suitcases or even a cat cage. The owners of this hotel have another one in Bath, so we can leave the bikes there.
Wow, I haven't ridden a bike since I was a little girl. I hope I can remember how.
Well, I need some more comfortable shoes before I do a 13-mile bike ride.
The shops are still open. Shall we go shopping?
Yes, well, if we are going to ride all the way to Bath, I will have to buy some new shoes.
Beatrix and Amelia put down their coffee cups and stand up. Oliver doesn't move.
I'm going out for dinner with Avril tonight, so I won't come shopping with you. I'll go and sort out the bikes for tomorrow, and I'll see you in the morning.
Beatrix looks at Oliver and tries to smile.
Hey.
Of course, she is happy that he has a date, and Avril was certainly very attractive. As they walk through the city, Beatrix wonders what she would look like if her hair was blonde and straight like Avril's. She pulls at her wavy, mouse-brown hair unhappily. Soon, Amelia and Beatrix find a shoe shop. Inside, Amelia picks up a pair of white trainers.
I don't usually wear trainers. I usually wear high heels. But these certainly look more comfortable than my usual shoes for bike riding.
They look perfect.
Amelia puts the shoe on her foot and walks around. Beatrix takes a pair of pretty rose-red kitten heels from the shelf. They look exactly like the ones Avril was wearing yesterday. Beatrix slips her foot into the shoe. Amelia looks at Beatrix in surprise.
Those don't look like the kind of shoes you usually wear, Bea. They are lovely, though. I used to have a pair just like that, except mine were yellow.
You're right, Amelia. I don't usually wear shoes like this. I would have to get used to wearing heels. But maybe I should get used to it. After all, you'll have to get used to wearing trainers, so I'll have to get used to wearing heels too.
Beatrix takes the kitten heels over to the shop assistant. Amelia lines up behind her. They both buy their new shoes. As they are leaving the shop, Amelia can't help but wonder why Beatrix feels she has to get used to wearing heels. The next day, 3 bikers are riding along the Bristol and Bath railway path towards Bath. Oliver has squashed Mog's cage into a basket on the front of his bike, and Mog is looking out of her cage with interest. Oliver smiles at his cat.
See, Mog, this is another way to travel, isn't it? And it's easy for you. You just have to sit there and enjoy yourself.
There are other ways to travel too, Oliver. Like the bus, for example. If we had got the bus from Bristol, we would have been in Bath an hour ago.
Oh, but this is so much more fun, sis. And you look just right on that bike.
Amelia is wearing her new trainers, and she, too, has squashed her luggage into a basket on the front of her bike. She looks at her feet with a small smile.
I have to admit, these shoes are very comfortable. Although they're definitely not as cute as Beatrix's new ones.
Beatrix looks sad. Her new shoes are packed into her backpack. For some reason, ever since she tried them on, her feet have been red and sore.
But now my feet are too sore and ugly to wear those cute shoes.
Beatrix looks unhappy as she remembers what Oliver had said when he saw her pretty shoes. He had said that they didn't seem right for her. This made Beatrix feel angry. She just didn't understand it. Oliver certainly seemed to like the rose-red kitten heels when Avril had been wearing them. He had been talking about Avril all morning, which Beatrix thought was really annoying. She was looking so annoyed that Oliver looked over at her.
Are you all right, Bea? You certainly look like you're doing a lot of thinking while you're riding.
Yes, I suppose that's the best thing to do while on a long ride. I just wish my feet weren't so sore. Do you think we're nearly there, Oliver?
Oliver points into the distance.
Yes. Can you see that sign over there? That's the end of the cycle path. That means we're in Bath.
Great.
Soon they are riding through the city of Bath towards the Parade Gardens. When they get there, the gardens are full of flowers that look and smell wonderful. In the middle of the garden is a large stone statue of a man and a pig.
That's King Bladud, the hero of today's story.
Why does he have a pig?
Well, when he was a young prince in 863 BC, he went to Athens and caught leprosy. When he came back to Bath, his dad, the king, sent him to prison.
What? Just for having leprosy?
Yes, so he escapes and finds a job looking after pigs.
Nice.
It was nice. Some of his pigs would bathe in a pool of natural hot water nearby.
Very nice.
Prince Bladud saw that the pigs that had been bathing in the natural hot water no longer had the skin diseases that the other pigs had. So he decided to try it himself. He bathed in the pool of special hot water, and soon his leprosy was gone.
Amazing. Did he still have to look after the pigs?
No, very soon he became the king. And after that, the amazing powers of Bath's natural hot water were celebrated by everyone.
I think you can still go in the natural hot water. There's a natural hot pool in the city. My grandma used to go there every year to help with her sore back. Maybe that's what you need for your sore feet, Bea.
So Beatrix and the others go to the spa pools. They bathe in the natural hot water.
This is wonderful.
It's just what we need after such a long bike ride.
Maybe I should tell Avril about this place. She's travelling around the UK too. I bet she would love it here.
Later that evening, while Beatrix is getting ready for bed in the hotel, she realises that her feet are no longer red and sore. She can't believe it. Just like for King Bladud, Bath's amazing natural hot water had worked its magic on her. She smiles to herself. Maybe now she could wear her rose-red kitten heels and look just as pretty as Avril.
If you want more story videos, then subscribe to our channel and share the video. Please leave your comments below. We love hearing from you.